What's up guys, welcome to epicspeak, where I help you engage in better English conversations. Have you ever stopped to think about all the different ways we use our bodies to express ourselves? From yawning and stretching in the morning to flinching and squinting when we are scared or surprised, our bodies are constantly communicating with the world around us. That's why in this video, we are going to explore some awesome action verbs that you can use to add more depth and detail to your conversations. So get ready to learn about some awesome action verbs that will take your communication to the next level. So the first one is yawn. The verb yawn means to open one's mouth wide and inhale deeply due to fatigue, boredom, or lack of stimulation. Yawning is a reflex that is controlled by the brain and is often associated with sleepiness or a need for more oxygen. People often yawn when they are tired, bored, or feeling drowsy. An interesting fact about yawning is that it can be contagious, meaning that seeing someone else yawn can cause you to yawn as well. Have you ever noticed that? The next thing that we usually do after waking up, other than yawning, is stretch. To stretch is to straighten or extend one's body or a part of one's body to its full length, typically to tighten one's muscles. You stretch and yawn soon after waking up. The next thing you usually do is rub the sleep from your eyes. Sleep, of course, you know, is a verb, but sleep is also the name for that residue that is accumulated at the corners of your eyes when you sleep. Rubbing the sleep is the action that we usually do after waking up to clear all that residue. Now, how many of you knew this? That gunk and dirt in the corner of your eyes is also called sleep. So another thing that you do in the morning is splash water on your face. To splash water is to take water in your cupped hands and wet your face with it. The next thing you do is scrub or cleanse your face. It means to use soap and water to remove the dirt and grime from your face. Now, another verb that we may use here is to take a shower or take a bath. Then you pat dry your body and get dressed. Now, another common action verb that is appropriate here is to brush your hair and detangle it. These are two action verbs, brushing your hair and detangling it. If you have a lot of knots in your hair, you detangle it with a brush. So detangling it is getting rid of the knots in your hair. So people with long hair can get knots in their hair. And then you can braid your hair or you can tie it up in a pony. The next action verb is the verb feed. To feed means to give food or nourishment to someone or something. So feeding is the act of providing sustenance. You can feed your animals, you can feed kids, you can feed elderly people in the house. So feeding is defined as both the act of giving food or actually helping them eat is also feeding. It is a versatile verb that can be used in a wide range of contexts. Now, talking about food, the next action verb is to pick at food. When you pick at food, you eat only a very small amount of your food, usually showing no interest or enjoyment while you eat it. So if someone serves you food that you don't like and you don't want to eat it, then you will probably pick at that food. So picking at food is just moving food around in your plate and just maybe putting a bite or two in your mouth, with no interest whatsoever. Now, after picking your food comes the next action verb, which is picking your nose. To pick one's nose is to insert a finger into one's nostril to clean it. It is not good manners to pick your nose in public. You should clean your nose when you're in the washroom. And now we move on to pick at scabs or wounds. A scab is a dry, rough layer that forms over a cut or a wound during healing. Now, as the wound is healing, we feel a desire to scratch it. That is called picking at wounds or scabs. The next verb is flinch. To flinch means to suddenly withdraw or shrink back, typically in response to something unexpected or unpleasant. So this movement can be physical or emotional. Someone sees something hurtling at them, they flinch. In general, flinching is a reflex that is meant to protect us from potential harm or discomfort. So look at this person here. What do you think this person is doing? This action is called blowing a raspberry, also known as blowing a strawberry or a Bronx cheer. This is a playful way of making a rude, mocking, or dismissive sound. To blow a raspberry, you put your tongue between your lips and blow, causing the lips to vibrate and make a loud noise. This sound is often used to express disdain, disrespect, or disapproval towards something or someone. For example, if someone gives a boring or unimpressive speech, someone in the audience might blow a raspberry to show that they don't take it seriously. Now, in general, blowing a raspberry is considered a childish or immature act. The next verb is to tiptoe. To tiptoe means to walk on the balls of one's feet or walking very slowly so as to make as little noise as possible. Tiptoeing is often used to describe a quiet or stealthy movement, such as when someone is trying to avoid waking somebody up or when they're trying to sneak up on someone. Tiptoeing can also be used to describe the act of walking carefully or cautiously as if trying not to disturb something. Teenagers who reach home after their curfew often tiptoe so as to not wake their sleeping parents. The next verb is frown. To frown means to scrunch up the eyebrows and lower the forehead, often as a sign of confusion, disapproval, or frustration. Frowning is a facial expression that can convey a range of emotions depending on the context. For example, someone might frown when they are thinking hard about a problem, when they are dissatisfied with a situation, or when they are unhappy with what someone else has said. The act of frowning can also be a conscious or deliberate gesture used to signal disapproval, annoyance, or dissatisfaction. The next phrase is rolling someone's eyes. The phrase rolling someone's eyes refers to a facial expression where a person moves their eyes in a circular motion, usually upward motion, to signal disbelief, frustration, or annoyance. This expression is often used to convey a sarcastic or unenthusiastic attitude, or to show that someone is not taking something seriously. For example, someone might roll their eyes when they hear a bad joke, when they are asked to do something that they don't want to do, or when they are listening to someone who is being unreasonable. The next verb is to eavesdrop. The verb eavesdrop means to listen to a private conversation without the knowledge or permission of the people in the conversation. Eavesdropping typically occurs when someone intentionally overhears a conversation that is meant to be private, either by listening in directly or by overhearing snippets of the conversation while in close proximity to the speakers. Eavesdropping can be considered unethical or intrusive and is often frowned upon in most societies. For example, someone might eavesdrop on a conversation between two people in a public place or listen in on a phone conversation by standing close. The word eavesdrop is often used in a negative context, and it implies that someone is prying into someone else's private affairs. But it can also be used in a neutral or even positive context to describe the act of gathering information. Let me know which action you found most useful or interesting in this video in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.